I love great conversations. Hi, my name is Angel Jones. Thank you for joining me on 12-minute convos where I help you create a brand of your own unique, real self. Listen in as I have conversations with amazing people from all over the world. Good day, Davina, Frederick. How are you doing on this wonderful, beautiful day?
Oh, I am doing fantastic today.
It's a great pleasure to connect with you, Davina. Please tell us, what part of the world are you in right now?
I actually am in sunny Orlando, Florida in the United States.
That's wonderful. I just had a conversation with someone in Florida, so I'm glad that I'm in the warm part of the States right now.
And is it cold where you are?
Oh no, it's never cold in the Caribbean.
Oh, I didn't realize that's where you were.
Yeah, I'm in
Oh,
Trinidad and Tobago, the beautiful islands. I love it.
well, it is definitely most of the time it's beautiful here in Florida. Except our summers do get a little bit rainy, but
Yeah, that's cool. Well, wonderful to connect with you. Please do tell us which of your talents, Davina, is responsible for us connecting at this time.
well, I am a business growth strategist and a marketing consultant, and I work with solo professionals and small business creators who want to grow their own business. And my clients, they want to make more money, they want to create a lifestyle that they desire. And in particular, since I am an attorney as well, I work with a lot of attorneys who are looking to grow their businesses and their practices. But I don't limit myself just to attorneys because I just love the variety of getting to know different types of business owners and helping them create their business.
Intriguing. So, who did you learn these skills that are necessary to do what you do?
Well, before I became an attorney, I've been an attorney for about 10 years. Before I became an attorney, I worked in marketing for about 15 years. I started out as a copywriter and I've always worked in professional services marketing. So, lawyers, engineering firms, law firms, computer companies, tech companies. I worked for an agency for a while, and so I've developed those skills along the way in through not only my education and then my experiences. I've actually owned some of my own businesses, including starting my own law practice. I owned a high performance fitness training gym. I started a food manufacturing company. That was probably not one of my biggest successes,
Hmm.
but mainly I have learned from my clients. The more I do and the more I work with people and open myself up to be there listening and engaging with other people, the more rich my life becomes and the better I get at doing what I do.
That's amazing. Love that. Now, where's the best place for someone to go to connect with you?
So my website is D Frederick Media. That's DFREDERICK media.com. But you could also connect with me on LinkedIn, Davina Frederick, or on Facebook. I have Twitter as well. I don't really participate as much in Twitter as I do in on LinkedIn and Facebook, but those are great places to reach out and connect with me. And I am open to connecting with all kinds of people.
Love it. And what's one other thing you've done, Davina, consistently over the last 3 years?
So it was really fun as I was listening to some of your other podcast guests, and I heard meditation, which I meditate. I heard exercising. I heard all these different things that people do, reading and writing and podcasting, and I'm kind of chuckling because the consistent thing about me is inconsistency. I want to do so many things. So I do a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And I'll meditate for a while and then I'll skip a few days and I'll exercise for a while. I'll skip a few days. But I think that the thing that is kind of a consistent theme throughout my life is two things. One is reading and the other is writing. I am a voracious learner. I mean, I love to learn. I love to read. I love to write and communicate and have conversations with people. So that would be what I do consistently.
How does it make you feel?
I love it. I love it. I really enjoy engaging with others and learning and learning new things and challenging my mind and my growth.
Suggest to someone that's listening why they should do that, why they should challenge their growth.
Oh, wow. Because, life is a journey, and we think that, as cliche as that is, and, we can get so caught up in our own mind and think that we know all there is to know. We know the answers. And when we're faced with a problem, we rack our brains. You'll hear people use that expression to find answers when the possibility may exist outside of us. There may be a lot of somebody else that you could talk with that could immediately help you solve your problem if you would open your mind and engage in conversation with others and reach out. Make it a point, be intentional to reach out and connect with others and learn new perspectives.
Love it.
It just enriches your life.
It does. It does so tremendously. Like the conversation I just had, like I was expressing that one of the challenges we have is that we need to edit all of these podcasts before December 31st, because a published podcast is a completed podcast. Just publicizing that we have done it is not really a count. Technically, yeah,
right.
And this guy, he said, hey, we have 4 people, so if you need help, if it comes down to the end and you need help, we'll edit for you. And I guess it speaks to the conversation and the power of a conversation that you're speaking about as well.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah, that's exactly it. Is that you, and particularly since I work with solo professionals, and I do a lot of, I don't call myself a business coach. I'm a consultant. I focus on strategy and marketing and growth. But what has happened over time is I've sort of evolved into a coach, because when you're working with solo professionals, CEOs of small businesses, a lot of times you can't address the growth issues without addressing what's going on with the individual who's running the business and creating with the creator of the business, right? And one of the things I find is that when we start a conversation and we talk through a problem, they'll get so stuck in a problem. And when we start a conversation and we get engaged in it, and I start asking questions that help them realize that there are other possibilities out there, by the time we're done, there are all sorts of new ideas that they never even considered. And it's not because I'm some genius, it's because I'm asking them questions and allowing them to open up their mind to other possibilities.
Yeah.
And that's so exciting to see.
It is. I would definitely say you are a genius, though.
Oh.
And don't take that away from yourself.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Well, Davina, let's switch gears for a moment now and let me invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water. Davina, what is your earliest childhood memory?
So my earliest childhood memory is at 18 months. And it was my mother was, I grew up living on state parks, and we lived in St. Andrews State Park, which is a beautiful beach, white Florida beaches. And there was a lady who also lived on the park, the wife of one of the other people who worked at the park. And she was babysitting us, going to be babysitting us for my mother to go back to work. And my mother took me to drop me off there. And I remember the house. I can describe the inside of the house, the entire, what it looked like. It was very dark is my overall impression of it, but I can describe the rooms of the house. And I think I have described it to my mother and my sister, my oldest sister, who were there, and they are amazed that I'm able to describe it in that level of detail, because we did not stay very long going to her. My mother wound up actually not, she was so upset by having to leave me, because I would cry every day when she would try to leave me, that she quit her job to stay home and take care of us, because she just couldn't stand the idea of it.
Wow.
So yeah, that's my first memory.
How do you see that memory connecting? Well, how old were you?
I was 18 months. 18
wow.
months.
How do you see that memory connecting to who you are today?
Oh, wow. I've thought a lot about this, because my my mother is a very shy, bashful person, and I'm not by nature. Um, and she was very upset about, she takes a lot of pride in being a good mother and really loves her. She has three daughters, really loves us dearly. Um, but she also did not want to be seen in the world. It was a it was because she was very shy. She did not want to be seen. She grew up on a farm, and she always felt, kind of like this farm girl, gone to the big city or something. And so she sort of instilled in us this very reticence to be seen. And so my entire life has been kind of pushing back against that, and enforcing myself when I'm uncomfortable to put myself out there and be seen and be heard, and feel good about it. And that's something that I've had to work to do, because I felt, she just wanted to protect us. She just wanted to protect us and shelter us and keep us in a nice, safe world. And, that was her way of showing her love. And safety and risk don't always go together.
Hmm.
Right. So, and life is really in the risk and your willingness to take risk and put yourself out there and see what happens.
That's intriguing. And that definitely is a huge conversation.
You ask the questions, I just answer.
Oh, no, I didn't even mean it like that. My apologies for how it came across. I meant that to go deeper into the conversation. It's just a huge conversation. So, okay, let me think on this. All right, so can I offer an interpretation to the thought picture you created in my mind?
I would love it.
Sometimes the path to you being all that you can be is one where the point that you think may have been the place that would have created strength is not. So, to reframe the memory, it's amazing that the place, had you been a customer, if you would, of the babysitter, it would have not been probably the format of your protection, right? Where you would have been out there.
Right.
However, it's really intriguing to see that the format of what your mother did by deciding to protect you has still created the elements that are necessary for you to be all that you are right now.
Oh, wow. Wow. I see what you're talking about. Deep. Now that's a deep conversation.
It is, right? Yeah.
It is.
Definitely.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Those experiences that shape us, not we focus so much on what we want and the joy and what we want to create in life, but those times of contrast, those times of that we think are bad times or traumatic or whatever negative emotions we might have around it, often are those things that shape us into the person that we are now and that we love to be.
There we go.
Right.
The image that I put with it, I'll share quickly, is that of the archer who is pulling back on the bow. And it's looking as though everything is good, the arrow is going backward. However, once focused in terms of on the target, what will happen is the thing that was looking as though it was going backward, when released, is actually going to propel faster than everything else around it. So
I love that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Love that visual.
If we fast forward to when you were 12, what was your favorite song?
So I don't remember I sang at 12, but when I heard this question, I thought, I immediately thought of my favorite song when I was about 10, which was by Tony DeFranco and the DeFranco family, Heartbeat, It's a Love Beat. And I don't know if you have any idea what that song is, but I had this huge crush on Tony DeFranco at that age. And I would go to my I had a cousin, a girl cousin who was also my age, and I would go to her house, and we both had this huge crush on him. He was this cute little dark-haired Italian boy who was like a kind of it looked like a Donny Osmond, sort of knockoff, right? And we would listen to I had one of the records, and this tells you how old I am. They were 45s, and I had one of the records, and she had both of the records. And so we would listen to the A and the B sides of the records. And but Heartbeat, It's a Love Beat was the song.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, just to connect that, it's very fascinating that just like with your mother, her heartbeat was definitely a love beat in creating who you are today.
Right. There's a love theme that runs throughout my life for sure.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, Davina, we have arrived at our destination, but before we get off of this time machine, there is a small declaration form, so it's yes or no, possibly a bit more. We're going to move pretty quickly here. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Davina, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
Yes, I pass them on to my clients because I teach them what I know.
Are you married?
I am. 15 years in April.
Congratulations. What's your husband's name?
John. His name is John.
Hey, John. Do you have children?
I do not. I have English bulldogs.
There we go. They count. Do you believe in God?
I believe in source energy, and that we are all connected.
Indeed.
And so I believe in energy more so than like a father figure of God.
All right. Do you have an inner circle of friends?
I do.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
And I was listening to some of your other podcast guests, and they're all saying, "No, I don't watch TV. I don't watch TV." And I'm going, "Are you what?" Yes, I watch TV, and I don't. And more than 3 hours a day. It depends on the day. There are days when I'm just on a Netflix marathon, man.
There we go. And that's you, right? There we go.
To be honest.
Yeah, I love it. What about screen time? The phone and the computer, is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
Oh, more than 8.
All right.
Between writing and video calls and my phone and all of that. Yeah, I'm always on.
Davina, if you had to share with us your own unique real statement, a statement that represents Davina Frederick, what would you say that is?
The only behavior you can control is yours, and the only moment you have is now. What are you going to do to create more of what you want?
Love it.
Yes.
Just like that little girl who could have been babysitted by that babysitter. Hey, the only behavior is yours. I love it. The only behavior is your own unique real self that you can control. I love it. Davina, this has been a great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
Oh, it's just been wonderful to engage in a conversation with you and know that other people are listening in on the conversation and participating in it, because I've gotten so much out of the conversations that I've heard you have with other people, and I have so much fun having conversations with my clients. And I think that if we open ourselves up to listening to others and sharing our true, authentic selves, our genuine hearts, and showing more compassion, that we can really create a different kind of world and a better world.
I love it, and I believe. Davina Frederick, thank you for being on what is inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
Thank you.
Thank you for being on 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. Stay tuned for more from our advertisers.
Diabetes is a mountain pandemic. It's a disease that's not acute but chronic. Similar to this rhyming method, I have simplified the definition, the signs and symptoms, and the complications of diabetes for both adults and children in my books, Poems for Patients, A Focus on Diabetes, and The ABCs of Diabetes for Children. These books are available on Amazon.com. And for more information, you can visit my website, poemsbyaj.com. That's poemsbyaj.com.